when we came back after being gone for 3 weeks, there were a lot of questions, a lot of emails, what's going on, where you been, kind of thing. And while I did try to point out that one of the challenges was that there are other people involved in some of the things that go on in our lives, and their privacy has to be protected, which is true. I used the example of, for a year, I had to silently, my wife and I had to silently deal with my mom having breast cancer, and my mom didn't want that shared, and so I couldn't, as hard as it was at times, and it was occasionally a reason that I missed a show or two, but that got lost because I got very indignant, and I gave my "you're not entitled to anything" speech, and I was in a bad headspace that day. I shouldn't have been on the air, but I had to be. And that's not an excuse, it's an explanation. Dawn tried. And I knew what she was doing. I mean, 30 years with this broad.
35?
I knew what she was doing. I couldn't relent. Because Dawn tried to do the, look, I do want to point out, I understand why you guys, want to know more. We share so much. We've kind of created this. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing and I know what and I'm just like, screw it. And that was wrong. There is a level of information that you're entitled to, and I want to start working on that. I know there's a lot of questions. I know there's a lot of concerns. I know there's also a lot of rumors and lies and stories that need to be addressed, and I really want to, and there's a reason I'm bringing this up right now, which I'll get to in a second. I really want to start going over everything that I can over the next many days. It can't be like for the next 2.5 hours I'm going to emotionally vomit all over it. That's terrible. I view it more as becoming kind of like food news or the entertainment report.
Are we going to get a jingle?
All right, I'll start working on one.
Yeah, I mean, good luck with that once you hear what I have to say today. But yeah, it's just going to be kind of like hey, you know what? We're going to take a few minutes here to address this or try to answer this. That's out because there are some very kind of consistent questions, concerns, etc. Because we also, of course, we have to do our job, which is overwhelmingly to entertain, inform, help people. And yes, through that, all over these decades, part of it has been sharing things about our lives, which is what creates what Dawn was alluding to of, well, tell us everything. And there's an element of, okay, that I've come to with that. So what prompted me addressing this today is a message that my wife got, a direct message that she got on her Instagram page yesterday. And it started very simply with, please answer, I just want to know if Rob is failing in life. Now, Christina, being Christina, goes into protective wife mode and kind of clapped back a little bit and asked if this, I think it's a woman, if this person was basically rooting for my downfall. Oh. So if you read the whole the two messages combined, this is what it would say. Please answer, I just want to know if Rob is failing in life. Are you broken up? What is his deal? He was missing for almost a month. And also, yes, I'm rooting for his downfall.
Damn.
As are many people.
Whoa.
When a narcissistic egomaniac with no actual skills other than being a piece of crap starts to fail.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Damn.
I'm gonna answer. This is the first question I'm going to answer. I just want to take a moment before I do, though, and this kind of reminds me yesterday when Dawn was trying to point out to the people that are lighting Teslas on fire and such that you're not hurting Elon Musk. And I kept saying you can't make sense of something where there's no common sense. I want to believe that I'm not doing that here, in the sense that I still have a little bit of Brandon in me, in that I want to believe most people are good. In this particular case, a lot of you are frustrated, as I said, concerned, but I think you root for us. I do. I I just want to ask that you leave my wife out of it. And I'm asking. I'm not being a jerk, I hope. I just don't think she should be getting messages like this.
No, she shouldn't.
You can contact me on Circles. You can follow me and you can direct message me there. I'm not a huge social media guy. That's why, as Dawn was talking earlier, I like Circles. It's positive. You can email me anytime. I see every email this show gets, and I'm a big boy and I can take it. And like I said, I'm willing to answer a lot to kind of turn things around in some way. My position has kind of sort of always been, don't give this stuff oxygen. And I realize there's a risk here of asking you to leave my wife alone, that she might get dozens of awful messages. It's a risk I have to take because there's just no reason for it. None. She doesn't deserve it.
No.
She's not on the show. She's not putting her life, just because she's married to me, she's not putting her life out there. She has her own life. She's got a law career. She's fighting congestive heart failure, which she got as a result of defending this country in Afghanistan. And yes, one of the things she was fighting for was our right to our freedoms to leave messages like this. I just want you to aim your guns at me. That's all I'm asking. And I will answer as many of them as I can. There's going to be things that can't be talked about. And that's not a shield. There are things called NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, things you just can't talk about. There are privacy issues of other people who aren't even as connected, like say as my wife, that maybe are part of what's going on, that we can't share their business. But I will do everything I can to answer what I can. So I will start with your question. Yes, I'm failing at life. And I have been. And I'm not being sarcastic. I am not being facetious. I am not doing that hyper-confident thing. I am absolutely failing at life in almost every aspect. I am failing as a boss, as a leader, as a mentor, as a coach, as a friend, as a husband, as a business owner. I am failing desperately, and it is dark. I go in and out of depression. I have lost all of that swagger. I'm sure it's in there still somewhere, but since I was 17, I was always able, and it wasn't fake. I was always able to believe I got this, or I'll get this. I don't believe I'll get there right now. I don't. And I haven't for I don't know how long. It is a battle to not get blackout drunk. It is a battle. This battle, I lose more than I win lately. It is a battle to not run and hide, and just hope that I don't know. It'll be different. I'll wake up to a different reality. Something will come to me, and I know, like, well, give us an example. Give us an example. There's too many. I mean everything that I said at the cat. There are only two things in life that I am not failing at right now. Two. I'm not failing as a dog owner. And I'm not failing at this when I show up. I love being on the air, and we have done exceptional shows since we came back. And I love prepping the show. Other than that, name it. I suck. And I'm hurting people, and I'm letting them down. And it's awful. And I am suffering. And I realize there's a balance here a lot, because on one hand, people, they want to be let in. And then on the other hand, there's people who are like, grow up, stop whining. And I get that. I get all of that. I'm trying to kind of 30,000 foot level this for you. If you've been listening, you know that I have been able to compartmentalize and do the show and be funny and enjoy it. 10 o'clock hits and I die. the weighted blanket of reality just crushes me. So, to your other point, I mean, you asked a question. Yes, I am failing at life. Everything else were not really actionable. But if you are getting joy out of my suffering, celebrate it, because I am. And if it, and I'm not being facetious here. I genuinely mean that if watching me stumble, struggle, be in the midst of failing, I haven't failed, but I'm failing. If that makes you happy, okay. And I mean that, because I don't get any joy out of anyone else suffering. Whatever has created this opinion of me being narcissistic and an egomaniac, whether it's, things that I say on the radio or whatever, I don't actively root for people to be sad or depressed or anything like that. So celebrate it. And by the way, celebrate it every day for however long. Wake up every morning and text these people that you know or you claim to know.
These people
that feel the way you do. It's another day, and rob suffering, because it'll be true. I reached out. I've been reaching out to Dawn's husband a lot. And last week, the guys from Circles came to the studio and basically sat me down and said, I'm paraphrasing here, you're reeling, and you need to drop the I got this thing. You need to drop this I'm Rob, I can handle anything, I'm a rock, I gotta be everybody's rock. And you need to, and they invited me deeper into their group. The core of Circles is 5 guys that have been working together for decades. And they've been through it all with each other. And so they encouraged me to take them up on an offer of laying everything bare with them and trying to figure out a path forward. I spent 2.5 hours with them yesterday and 2.5 hours with them Tuesday. These are 5 guys that are working their asses off. They are busy. They have plenty to do. And they dropped everything to sit in a conference room with me for 5 hours over 2 days to listen and try to help. And it's a start, I hope. It was a lifeline. I shared that with you so that you know I haven't given up. I've wanted to. And listen to the whole sentence here. I have never been suicidal, and I'm not. I quickly want to point that out. I will tell you, though, that I understand it. That Dr. Rob emailer who was praying that she could get away from her husband, and then he dies. Been there, am there for myself. See, I'm honestly, I'm not trying to be funny, but a little levy. I'm too much of a coward to kill myself. I guess I've gotten close enough to the thought over the last many weeks to where I've at least thought, yeah, but the problem is I'm afraid the bullet won't do the job and I'll wind up paralyzed or in a coma. Or I'm afraid the pills won't kill me. And same thing. I'm just too much of a coward. I'm not like reckless on the road, but getting T-boned into heaven would be okay with me at times. It's that bad. It's that dark. And I realized that not only did I need to align myself with the Circles guys and keep talking with Gary, but it was time to come clean with you. And again, I will, as best I can, I will get into some of the specifics. And I have some updates on some things that you do know is going on. I got to get some things together, but it was just this exchange made it clear to me that it was time to at least acknowledge, yes, I'm failing at everything. And I don't know. So I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to ask for you to be. This, by the way, is not like a setup to let you know that I'm going to disappear again. I'm not going anywhere. We had a vacation scheduled that I had to cancel because of everything that was going on over the last 3 weeks. Killed me. My team deserves better, but we're not going anywhere. I believe in prayer, so if you got some space for me, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be a good start.
I'm proud of you, Rob. Yeah. Proud of your vulnerability.
Honestly.
Yeah, man.
It's that low.
So proud.
See, to me, it's like I appreciate that, but to me, it's like a moment of desperation.
But this is where solid foundations are built.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, this is strength.
Rock bottom.
This is strength.
That took a lot of guts, man.
It really is. To put yourself out there.
It's very strange for me feeling to feel like such a loser, like, because I've never believed that, and I don't just believe it now. I know it. It's like I know what a piece of crap I am. Oh. I mean, in that sense, because I do laugh at some of this, the part of the message that I have no actual skills other than being a piece of crap. Yeah, kind of feel that way. But I'm really good right now at being a piece of crap, and have been for.
I wish I could take that away.
A lot of weeks
from you. I wish I could have magic powers to take that off of your mind, because you're a human that's going through it. You're not a piece of crap.
Yeah, I hear you. I just don't believe you.
I know you don't.
I'm sure you don't think that, but
no, I absolutely don't.
But I am.
That.
See, my mindset is, with all due respect, you're an idiot.
Right. I know.
Right?
Yes, I know. But I see things differently, and you're human, and you're going through it, and it is a hard. I know where it comes from with you, because a beautiful quality, you do like to succeed, and if you're not, then you put it in the you're a piece of crap column, and you're just human, and you're going through it. But as I don't know if it was a text or we were talking, if there's anyone that can pull themselves together, that has everything within them to do so, it's you. 100%.
And I had the same reaction to that text. I was like, I wish that was true.
It is true.
It's like, it's not true anymore.
It is true. It is.
You
don't feel it, but you know how there's reality and there's what our mind tells us. And you're just in that. You're in that, to where that is what your mind and what you're absorbing. But it's not reality.
I do want to just quickly go back, because I don't want it to, because of my attempt here to try to get as transparent as possible and share as much as I can. If I gloss over anything, it's going to be like, oh, so that's what it is. Remember the message also asked Christina, are you broken up? No, we're not. We're together. We're married. Like I said, I'm a pretty awful husband lately in a lot of ways. But no, we're not broken up.
See, what's great about this segment is that you're revealing the fact that we are all flawed, we are all broken, we all have these peaks and valleys throughout life. Sometimes the valleys are a lot lower than others, and yours just happens to be, you're not alone, man. Like, there's so many people that are going through similar things. I mean, there's a gentleman that I'm talking to through Instagram, who's a listener of the show, who has a story that's very much parallel to yours, to mine. Having spent half my life with you, Rob, I like there's this cosmic connection, this woo-woo thing that I don't know what the hell it is, but there's something that has us bonded together to where it's almost like we go through certain things together in these cycles, like when I'm going through it, you're going through it type of thing. And it just happens to be happening right now. Like I'm having the same feelings. I feel like everything you said is exactly how I feel. And I don't believe a word people say when they tell me they love me, because I don't know how to love myself. And I've been doing a lot of work on this over the last couple of weeks because I've had the time. And I the way that I look at it is we're not something that needs to be fixed. We're something that needs to be healed. And that will, I think, help get us to that headspace of, okay, I can believe it now, but it's going to take time.
So I've said this more than once with the Circles guys over the last couple of days. I'm not trying to be like a defensive jerk or anything. I'm just in a place to where the first thing I think is I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah.
And I know that's what they're working with me on. They're trying to give me a path. And the other thing is, Brandon, I feel like I have been such a failure with you over the last many weeks. And I know that next week you're going to share a little bit of how you're involved and why we were off for 3 weeks and stuff. And I'm like, I tried, but I have felt constantly like, Jesus, that was no help. That's just where my head is. I heard what you said. Absorbing and believing it is very difficult right now.
I've got one thing, man. It's hard hearing you say that you've been a failure in a sense, and I get that a lot of people rely on you, man, and there's a lot of people, a lot of things that you're in control of. I feel like a lot of people, if they were in that position, they would have no idea on how to handle what was going on. But you're also a person who's never drug anybody down. You always bring people up. The time I've worked with you and I've known you and listened to you on the radio, I heard a saying, it's so easy to bring people down to your level, but you don't do that. You elevate people to a higher level and a higher standard, whether it be Dr. Rob, whether it be your employees. You're a rock star in a sense, and it's in there in you, man. You'll get back to it. You will. And I know you will.
You know, it's funny, Kyle, that you use that terminology because as a former lifeguard, which has never really left me, I've been there's an expression, it goes different ways, about how a drowning man will drag you down. You learn that. That's why the techniques that you're taught when you're an ocean lifeguard, it's like, remember, this drowning person will take you down with him if you let him. And I feel like I'm the one drowning and dragging everyone in my life down. All of you, my wife. Oh, I didn't mention I'm terrible at being a son right now too. I'm failing as a son. I'm just.
You're lost, man.
So,
It's okay.
for what it's worth, ...21 years old, you 19 to now in our 50s, when I stand there and talk to you, the other morning we were talking, and I probably said some hard things, but it doesn't matter, because when I'm looking at you, what I mean by that doesn't matter is that's who I still see. You know, there's this big chunk of life of who you are, and it is still there. I still see it now looking at you. There's been challenges for you for a bit, and that has been unknown for you, and that has been unknown for me with you. And that's an unknown. It's like, wow, I don't know that with him, right? But there is this huge chunk of time that isn't at all what's happening now. And you're still there. I still see it in your eyes. I hear it in our conversation. I feel it in your heart. You don't. I understand that. But I've been in your life for a really long time, and I mean, I'm gonna call him later, but I just cannot even be more thankful to the Circles people. Really, honestly. Because, yeah, you know, you're surrounded by so many people that love you, and it doesn't matter who reaches you. I'm just glad, for whatever reason, that it was at the right time for you and them, and whatever. It's beautiful. It's beautiful that they, as you said, they took you in to their group and have embraced you, and it's been helpful to you, and that is just, that's everything. Because I don't want this to come out the wrong way to anyone, but you know, for me, because of my history with Rob, my main concern is him. Of course, I love this show. I love doing it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's my friend that matters, and to me, and we're anything else, you know, for me, it's just how I'm built. I put love and friendship over any career I would be doing. And anyway.
See, when we had that talk the other morning, I walked out of your office and said to myself, well, she's out of here.
No. Yeah.
And
I know. I know. I know.
Some of the perfect storm of this is, while I was with the Circles guys yesterday, that's when Christina got this message and sent it to me. So we're there talking about all of this, and she gets this message. And within 10 minutes of all of it happening as well, Ian from Tech to You and Circles, he's one of the 5, he told me, and Ian was a huge listener before we partnered up, and he told me how disappointed he was in me with the way I handled that day we came back. He said, I can't use the exact words he said, but when you basically said, we're not entitled to know anything, and he said, and I know more. I didn't know everything I know now. Mm-hmm. I know more than most. I said, I was really let down. So it all kind of happened.
Oh, God, I can't even imagine what that felt like from Ian. He is, you know, oh my gosh. That takes a lot, right?
Over those 5 hours I've spent with them, there were a lot of, you know, tough love moments. There were also a lot of, like, on my part, numbness, you know, because I'm there too. I'm so numb to so much. Because it's since I can't fall down drunk, the only way I can protect myself is to hide and to stay as numb as possible. Because feeling this is foreign, and it's awful, and it's not just a thing, it's everything.
The example of the Circles guys pulling you in and being that fellowship for you is a perfect testament to why things like AAs work, why communities work, why churches work. You have to surrender ultimately and allow others to help lift you up. And I know for you, that's one of the hardest things to do, is to ask for help, because I'm very much the same way. You know, I got it, I handle it. It's my thing. I'll just deal with it myself. But man, it's liberating when you are able to just let it go and let God.
Yes.
And
yes.
Oh, I've run towards him big.
You're doing the work, man. And as soon as I started praying, man, the people in my life just started showing up, and it was. I'm sorry. Dump that.
I thought I would be the one that would cut.
The power of prayer and the power of community and the power of friendship and fellowship. Just
it's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. It's everything.
Couple things. I'm seeing the hundreds of emails. I can't read them all, obviously, and many of them are long and thoughtful. I do appreciate them. I will read every one of them. Looks like all of them are very supportive, and I appreciate that. The other thing is I do still have a business to run, and we're going to take a break. I know we're supposed to play one of our dumb games right now, but I think we can just kind of pause on that. I don't want the rest of the show to be this. We can do one more segment on it, but then we gotta do what we do. And quite honestly, part of that is I gotta do what we do. I need to do food news or something. I need to talk about a new candy or something
Yes,
like
please.
that at some point here.